Look at what surveillance cameras captured in Mecca, in one of the buildings near the sacred mosque. A big surprise, subhanallah. If you are a Muslim, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so we know how many Muslims are watching this video. For truly, pointing to goodness is like doing it yourself. Look at what surveillance cameras captured in Mecca, in one of the buildings near the sacred mosque. You won't believe it. Surveillance cameras in Mecca recorded the image of a ghost in white in one of the buildings. Surveillance cameras worldwide constantly record strange things, whether sudden events or natural phenomena. But sometimes these cameras capture things and phenomena that are unnatural and go beyond the ordinary. In this video, we learn about the strange story of one such mysterious, inexplicable phenomenon. Saudi news sites published a strange story, backed by photos of a well-known unusual incident, when surveillance cameras in one of the buildings of the Mecca Al-Mukarramah Municipal Administration captured the image of a transparent, ghost-like figure in white clothing and a shawl during its sudden appearance in front of the cameras. Immediately, websites and news agencies exploded with the news, and the images spread widely on online platforms and social media. What the cameras captured stunned the administration employees who were in the building when they saw the photos and videos of this unknown transparent figure, resembling a person in traditional Saudi white clothing, during its sudden appearance near one of the building's doors on a quiet night, exactly at 3 a.m. An official representative of the municipality of the sacred capital in Mecca al-Mukarramah told Saudi newspapers that the surveillance cameras did indeed capture these images, in which the figure was visible, and they appeared on the monitoring screens, to everyone's astonishment. He also confirmed that at such a late hour, the building is usually empty of employees, except for the security personnel on duty at the entrances and exits. The reality of this thing that suddenly appeared in one of the mosques caused unexpected events. You won't believe the truth about the strange man who appeared in Rauda al-Sharifa among the worshippers. The presidency of the Prophet's Mosque confirmed that what has been circulating on social media about the Prophet's Mosque surveillance cameras documenting, over the last 3 Fridays, a strange man in clothing and a shawl sitting in Rauda al-Sharifa among the worshippers, with his face and body glowing, is nothing more than a video editing manipulation. Sheikh Abdul Wahid, Director of Public Relations for the General Agency for the Affairs of the Prophet's Mosque, said, "We saw nothing, but we heard what was spread on social media and YouTube about what allegedly happened during the last collective prayer." He described the incident as nothing more than a video editing manipulation, something the mind can accept as true. On the other hand, the director of the Medina Television Center, Saad al-Ufi, stated that what happened was merely a reflection of light on that person, captured by the camera during the documentation of the Friday prayer from the Prophet's Mosque. As for Dr. Ghazi al-Muti, professor at the Prince Naif bin Abdulaziz Chair for the Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vice at the Islamic University in Medina, he warned against hasty and unfounded opinions regarding this recording. He said that the mentioned light must first be studied by specialists, and investigation and verification must follow. Secondly, before giving any description or naming anything related to the unseen, he rejected building facts solely on opinions, stating that the unseen must be approached based on evidence. He added, "We must remind people of the Quranic verses and prophetic hadiths." The incident, which allegedly occurred at the beginning of Sheikh Abdullah Maksin al-Qasimi's Friday sermon at the 14:30-minute mark, caused fear in some hearts, while others considered it a being not belonging to humans. We will tell you a strange story that happened in the era of the companions in front of the Kaaba. A real angel appeared at the Kaaba. This angel performed the Hajj rituals, and we learn about it together. The story begins with a man named Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak, a pious ascetic about whom many stories were told, indicating that he was a righteous and devout person, to the extent that books on asceticism and spirituality were filled with them. Mubarak was the son of Imam Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak. Abdullah worked in a garden, guarding pomegranates and lemons to prevent attacks by thieves and bandits. He received a small wage. He began his work early in the morning and started by mending clothes in the garden. He never allowed his tongue to stop mentioning Allah the Almighty. When he received his wage from his master, he gave a third to charity, spent a third on himself and his family, and set aside a third for future hardships. One day his master came with a guest visiting the garden and said, "O Mubarak, Bring us pomegranates. So he brought sour pomegranates and placed them before them. The master said, These are sour, bring us others. So he brought more sour pomegranates. The master said to him, You don't understand, you're foolish, these are sour. He said, I swear by Allah, I don't distinguish sweet from sour because you didn't allow me to eat them. You thought that in the garden we present to you what was mentioned about this pious saint during the Hajj season. It is narrated about Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak that he spent on his companions and prepared their Hajj. When he was preparing to perform Hajj from his city, he gathered his companions and said to them, Who among you wants to perform Hajj? He took their travel expenses, put them in a box and locked it. Then he accompanied them and spent generously on them, feeding them the best food. He also bought for them in Mecca any gifts or souvenirs they wanted. Then he returned with them to their hometown. As soon as they arrived, he prepared food for them, gathered them around it, and then brought the box where he kept their travel expenses and returned each one's money. Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak performed Hajj one year, and the next year went on jihad in the path of Allah. And in that year, when he was preparing to perform Hajj, he went out one night to bid farewell to his companions before his journey. He saw a woman in the dark, bent over a pile of garbage, searching in it until she found a dead chicken. She took it and went to prepare it to feed her children. Ibn al-Mubarak was shocked and called out to her, saying, What are you doing, O servant of Allah? He reminded her of the noble verse, He has forbidden you only carrion, blood, and the flesh of swine. She replied, O Abdullah, leave the creation to the Creator. Truly, Allah has matters concerning His creation. He said to her, Why didn't you inform me of your situation? She replied, Now that you've made me swear by Allah, I'll tell you about my situation. Allah has made carrion permissible for us. I am a poor widow and mother of 4 daughters. There is no one to care for us. I knocked on people's doors but found no merciful hearts. So I went out to find dinner for my daughters, whose insides were burning from the flames of hunger, and Allah granted me this carrion. Will you argue with me over it? Here Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak wept and said to her, Take this in trust. And he gave her all the money he had set aside for Hajj. He returned to his home and did not go on Hajj. The pilgrims from his city set out and performed Hajj. Then they returned and visited him at home to thank him for helping them throughout the pilgrimage. Abdullah was surprised because he hadn't performed Hajj. He stayed at home. They said to him, May Allah have mercy on you, Ibn al-Mubarak. We never sat with you in a gathering without you giving us from the knowledge Allah granted you, and we never saw anyone more devoted than you in worshiping your Lord during this year's Hajj. Ibn al-Mubarak was shocked by what they said and confused by their matter because he had never left the city or gone anywhere. But he didn't want to reveal the secret. In a dream he saw a man whose face glowed with light, and he said to him, Peace be upon you, O Abdullah. Don't you know who I am? I am Muhammad, the messenger of Allah. May Allah bless him and grant him peace. May Allah reward you with good on behalf of my ummah, O Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak. Allah honored you as you honored that mother, and He concealed you as you concealed the orphans. Truly, Allah the Almighty created an angel in your likeness, who accompanied the people of your city during the Hajj rituals. And Allah recorded for each pilgrim the reward for his Hajj, and for you, He recorded the reward for 70 pilgrimages. Subhanallah, Allah sent an angel to perform Hajj in place of Abdullah because he took care of that woman and gave her the money he had set aside for Hajj. And this angel that Allah sent came from Al,